In this video, should I refix my mortgage or not? That is a question that I have been asked time and time again over the last few days and weeks. Understandably so, because suddenly so many mortgage products have been pulled, and as they are returning, they are not only at higher rates, but as I've discovered, even the terms can be a little unreasonable. Which reminds me, in my previous video when I discussed the early settlement figures from the Mortgage Works, I forgot to include a screenshot which is on their website. So here it is. This is exactly what it says about the early repayment charges on the Mortgage Works website. As you can see on here, up to a maximum 7% of the amount you overpay above your overpayment allowance. That's what they can charge you. And if you have a 5% early repayment charge and you have used all of your overpayment allowance, then you'll pay £5 for every 100 you overpay, 5%. I think that is unreasonable, to say the least. In fact, that's an understatement. So if you are thinking to refix, if you do not need to, please look at the terms very carefully, because the deals that the banks are offering now are obviously after they have conducted their research, and they are not offering these fixed deals for your benefit, it is for their benefit. And looking at the early repayment charges on the Mortgage Works website, for example, that indicates to me that the lenders feel that interest rates may rise more, but they will probably fall quite rapidly, and they do not want you bailing out when interest rates have plummeted again. They want you tied in for a nice 5 or 10 year period so that they can collect an interest rate that's much higher than the variable rate for years to come. So please check that very carefully. Once again, it depends on your affordability, and it's obviously not my place to advise you on what to do. All I can do is point out what you should look out for, because these people are vultures, and this is, as I said, hidden away. I had to search for it to find it. I know that the average broker might point this out to you, but in my experience, the average broker will probably slip it in passing, and you might not even pick up on it until such time as 2 or 3 years down the line, for whatever reason you want to get out of your existing mortgage, only to face a massive settlement figure, which is not just unethical, it is immoral. Now, with regards to brokers, let's revisit them. The question I have been asking myself is, why is it that 1.8 million fixed rate mortgages are ending over the next year or so, or by the end of next year? Any of you who bought from the lockdown to Q1, Q2 of this year were buying when interest rates, or the base rate, was at 0.1%, the lowest in history. It could not possibly go any lower. There is only one way that interest rate was going to go, and that is up. How many of you mentioned the possibility to your broker of a 5-year deal or a 10-year deal, only to find that your broker gave you this reason or that reason why you should just go for 2 years and then we can revisit it? Why revisit it? Why would you only sign up for 2 years if interest rates cannot possibly go any lower? I mean, I'm not saying that the brokers only want you to sign up for 2 years so that you go back again in 2 years and pay them again for another 2 years. God forbid, I wouldn't accuse them of that. But to my mind, an ethical broker would have advised every single buyer who bought from the lockdown until the first or second quarter of this year to have tied themselves in for at least 5 years while they could. and explain to you that although it may seem a little more, perhaps you would have had to tie in for 2.3, 2.5%, 2.8 rather than 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. But what the broker should have been concerned about is that your mortgage was not only affordable for this year and next year, but for the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. And I have to say that I put the crisis that is falling on the lap of so many people, millions whose mortgages are ending over the next year or so, firmly in the lap of the mortgage brokers. And if there are any mortgage brokers who are watching and would like to explain their reasoning, I'd love to hear from you, because to my mind there was absolutely no reason that every single one of you should not have emphasized how crucial it was that anybody buying through the recent year or two should not have fixed their mortgage for at least 5 years, if not 10. But I have no doubt that you possibly mentioned it and then dismissed it, and now it is your clients, the people who relied on you to advise them, who will be paying the price. If your affordability is positive and you could possibly cover even a little higher interest rate at the deals that are being offered now, especially with these ridiculous repayment charges, it may be worth biting the bullet and riding the wave. Every case is different and you need to do your sums. All I can say is, from what I'm seeing, the fixed deals that are being offered for the time being are fool's gold, and I do not agree with these ridiculous, and I've had a light go, I do not agree with these ridiculous repayment charges. And as far as to my mind, brokers, that is the first thing that brokers should point out to you if you are going for a fixed deal now. I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.